Just going to show a brief video on how we make sprouts. As you can see, use a mix from Now Real Food Products, Zesty Sprouting Mix, and it turns out that there's a variety of different seeds, and I just keep some of them in a jar, and then use a container. This is sort of a shorter on this side, but this is the one I use all the time. You could easily do it in one that's a little bit larger. And then one of the most important things is really this little terry cloth cleanup towel, which I've cut so that I place in the bottom of the container so that the seeds actually, when they begin to root, have something to hold on to. And you could use really an old washcloth or what have you, but something is needed in the bottom of the tub so that the roots have something to hold on to so the sprouts can stand up. I found this to be one of the best methods. Use variety of different kinds of things. You could use soil, but then you would need to cut your sprouts out. In this case, when we remove the sprouts, we just simply pull them up and the roots break off in the terry cloth. We throw that in the wash and away we go. I've placed the terry cloth towel in the bottom of the container. I poured water in. You can see it obviously is absorbed quite nicely. If there's any residual water, you can simply pour it out, and that cloth will hold enough water to get things started. Now all you need to do is sort of sprinkle in the seeds. You can move them around at this point. They'll stick into the bottom, but you can move them to the corners a little bit. And maybe a few more in the corners. Be good. That's about it. And you'll be surprised how many sprouts come from that many seeds. The last thing I do before closing things up is just use a repurposed sprayer and spray the seeds, getting them a little bit more moist, and that's about it. And then all we need to do is close things up. And the lid is good because it keeps the humidity high until they begin to sprout. And literally within 2-3 days, you'll notice that the seeds have begun to sprout. Day 2, and you can see this, they've already begun to sprout. So just give them a little spray with a water bottle and put them back up for another day. Here we are on day 3, and we can see that the sprouts have really started to go in both containers. We're waiting for them to really root into the terry cloth towel below, and then we will do something different. Otherwise, we just spray them with a little more water. Once they set root, then we'll actually pour water through the terry cloth and out the other end. But for now, we are waiting for the roots to really take hold. We'll go on to day 4. This is day 5, and you can see that the sprouts are really starting to take off and have begun to root in the terry cloth. So at this point, now that they're rooted, you can run water through to soak that terry cloth, and it's good to sort of fill it up to a degree, and then you can just sort of slosh it around in the bottom. Let me turn this off. And then you can see the water. And now that, for the most part, they are attached, just trickle the water out the side. Maybe a few seeds fall out. Again, try not to get any seeds that haven't sprouted into your drain. Otherwise, they will sprout in your drain and possibly clog it. You'd have to wait or use a declogger. Otherwise, in another day or two, and this I think is about day 4 or 5, you'll be eating these. Day 6, and it's time to eat. Just pull them up, put them on a salad, put them in a sandwich. Just a word of note, this would be the time to start another batch. This way you'll finish up a tray or 2, and then you can start on the new ones that come right behind it. Take care.